What's up with decantation? Don't you feel like it's kind of an overused word these days? Well, let me tell you, decantation is not for every wine, and this is really a personal preference. Personally, I like to let my wine actually evolve through a meal. Oxygen, remember, the second that you take it outside of a bottle is starting to break down a wine. If a wine is in the $3 to $4 category, please don't decant it. It will break down on its own almost immediately. Not a bad thing, but it's definitely a drink now scenario. Now, as we move up into some of these more beautiful boutique wines like the ones you're going to get from Sip Better, we want to start thinking about how the wine feels inside of your mouth. Let's refresh tannin. Tannin is a compound that's found in a red grape skin. Generally, as you move up into the heavier weighted red grapes, you're going to experience more of that tannin. The tannin will feel a little bit like dry dusted cocoa or almost like a chalky sensation to the backside of your molars. That's when you really want to taste through the wine first. Do you feel that really pulling on the backside of your molars? If so, this is where you can decant. Now, this is a Minervois from the inside of France, which gives you a little bit of Syrah and Grenache. This situation, I'm feeling a little bit of that tannic pull, but I know that this will kind of soften out over time. So the next time you're at a restaurant and somebody asks you to decant, taste the wine first, and we're going to ask you to do the same thing inside the Sip Better Club. If you're feeling like it's a little bit kind of heavier or chalky, then you can go ahead and decant. You can literally use a Kool-Aid pitcher to do this. You don't have to buy fancy decanters in order to do so. I have this fun little decanter that I use for a lot of wines. Oftentimes you'll see the bell-shaped decanters, but this scenario actually gives you a really fun sort of presentational mode for getting wine out on your table. Now you want to kind of slowly pour it, almost like a faucet is pouring right out of that bottle. You can actually decant half the bottle or the full bottle if you're ready to just really let it rip. Now, I always give it a nice big swirl. And what this does is it's just really adding more oxygen to the overall body of the wine. You don't need a lot of fancy gadgets to make this happen. You don't need the magic metal waving stick either to move over top of your glass. It's not magic. It's actually just oxygen helping to evolve the wine a little bit more. This will help the wine feel a little bit softer and smoother. And again, this applies to full-bodied to even medium plus weighted bodied wines. So we're talking about some meaty Malbecs, some bigger Syrahs, sometimes Cabernet, sometimes Zinfandel, but really rarely ever Pinot Noir. So think about that again from the medium to full weighted zone when you're moving into the red category. And again, make decantation your choice.